Our nation's top leaders presided over the parades today in Red Square to celebrate the ongoing victory over the United States. Premier Romanov himself presented the Order of Stalin to the hero of the campaign, General Vladimir.
We both know the truth, comrade. Just because Vladimir can retreat to Moscow more quickly does not mean he should take all credit, right? But no matter, let me share something with you. The human brain is a Pandora's box of electrical charges we can only begin to understand. Most brains are but receivers. However, some are advanced, sending and receiving charges as they choose. This is my psychic beacon. With it, we can send any message we want. We will construct this device everywhere. In the end, the Americans will be ours. Mind, body, and if you like, soul. Comrade, begin the psychic invasion in New York City. A victory there could not possibly escape Romanov's eyes.
Greetings to you all, and... Wait a minute.
Comrade General, the Premier requests that you capture the pathetic capitalist shrine in New York called the World Trade Center. After you overwhelm the American defenses in the area, plant a psychic beacon to secure our control. Welcome to New York, Commander.
Welcome back to Command and Conquer Red Alert 2. Now, Yuri seems to be under some kind of misunderstanding. He believes that I was the hero of the previous battle. Clearly, he did not see Vladimir's fantastic leadership, precision aim, and tactical genius. But that's okay. Maybe we can get ourselves promoted if we keep up this ruse that actually we were the ones who did most of the heavy lifting. It's a bit deceptive, but you have to forgive me. Now we've been given a chance to shine, and looks like we're finally going to see how
construction complete.
A psychic beacon was erected in the middle of America itself.
Building.
America would never let an oil derrick go like this.
Construction complete.
I'll fix it for them, don't worry.
New construction options.
Ooh.
Training. Building.
That's an exciting one. Do I have any questions to ask? The first one I have to ask is why do I need the American technology to build the psychic sensor tower emitter? I forget exactly what it's called. Because presumably the Americans haven't been doing any research into psychic activity. So I doubt they have much in the way of useful technology for me. But apparently.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Repairing.
I mean, I guess we'll go and capture it for some reason, but I don't see how it can be that useful.
Incoming transmission.
My poor minimap.
Comrade General, you may wish to move your psychic commanders closer to the enemy. You will find their persuasive power very useful.
Tech building captured. Unit ready.
That isn't a unit I was expecting to get this soon into the game.
Repairing.
Psychic ready, command, as you wish.
They have blended on top of one another as well. We'll discuss these in a minute. But yes, it seems odd. If the Soviets have researched mind controlling technology, then why do we need the Allied Battle Lab to assist? I fear we already have the technology.
Building.
And if we don't, then the answer isn't going to lie in there. But whatever. Maybe I read too much into these things. Let's scout. Probably not the best choice of scout I've ever had in my life, but we'll do it.
New rally point established.
I'm gonna leave this unit here and not explain it for ages, just to tease everyone.
Unit ready.
Moving. Changing position. Location confirmed. Changing position.
It's looking less and less likely I need to defend this angle.
Location confirmed.
Unit ready.
Position.
Unit, the V3 launcher has extreme range capabilities coupled with devastating damage potential. Destruction guaranteed. Just don't leave it undefended. Construction complete.
I refuse to believe you would ever attack an oil derrick in cold blood like this. I also refuse to believe you couldn't find the more superior pathing method to reach these enemies than the one you've taken. If it dies, it dies. I'll blame these guys for being so slow.
Repairing.
Slightly excessive to deal with one soldier to fire a V3 rocket, but there you go. So let's talk units. We've got the Tesla Trooper. What is he? He's kind of an all-rounder. He's fairly tanky for an infantry unit. He does fair damage. It works on infantry. It works on vehicles. He's your typical all-rounder kind of guy. He also says rubber shoes in motion when you make him move. Sometimes, not always. He will say it, hang on. You make me look like a liar when you do this, you know that. Thank you, my friend. I love that voice line, I don't know why. You two squabbling over this refinery. Just share, you've got one each. How can you be struggling to divvy up two between two? But yes, this unit is very good, it's a good all-rounder. It never really lets you down. Range is a bit short and cost is a bit high. But other than that, nice unit. Is the V3 rocket launcher. Just V3 rocket written, V3 launcher moused over. It shall be the V3 rocket launcher. You may remember the V2 rocket launcher. Well, this is the Third World War, so we get the V3. It's an artillery unit. It has very good range. It has nice damage. Very good against buildings. You're going to see me use a lot of these because I like this unit a lot. Alright, now it's time to demonstrate this chap. Now, if you listen to his voice, he might think he sounds a bit like Yuri. But he is obviously not Yuri. He is instead Psy-Corps Trooper. Yep, that's right. That's not Yuri. No way. The fact that he looks like Yuri, sounds like Yuri, and acts like Yuri is completely irrelevant. That is just a trooper. He mind controls a unit. He can mind control one unit at a time. He has currently mind controlled the driver of this tank. When he mind controls the driver of a tank, he apparently also mind controls the tank's gunner. Makes no sense to me. But there you go. If he mind controls a unit, then we get control of it. There's no range limits or anything like that. Probably should garrison this building, shouldn't I? Go on then. It's the right thing to do. But just very powerful unit. He can mind control any one target, and then it becomes psychically linked to him. If not Yuri dies, then the psychic link is broken, and the unit goes back to its original ownership. So in other words, the paint job goes back to being blue.
Building.
But if the unit dies, then Yuri's not Yuri. This isn't Yuri. Not Yuri is fine. He just is free to take over something else. Very powerful. How do you beat a unit like this? You overwhelm it with numbers.
New rally point established.
Okay, I believe we've explained enough. Let's get an army together.
Unit ready.
Let's go for a mixed bunch. Why would you send the IFVs at me?
Unit ready.
We've already discussed how these things are basically only anti-air. Now you might think that a mind-controlled unit could do some kind of reconnaissance for you. Kind of like a spy. It can't. The enemies know. If you mind-control something, it's known that it's mind-controlled. Let's try some proper tactics with the little squad here. Just, you know, to pass the time of day.
Ready.
How much do I have in the way of funding? Not much, right? Okay. Of course. We're drilling for ore, which looks kind of like gold, that is bleeding onto the nearby football pitch. And I'm not gonna call it a soccer pitch. That ain't happening. It's a football pitch, where they play football.
Unit lost.
I just heard Yuri take control of something. Okay, it's my IFV now. Oh, good lord, I can make a bootleg Tesla tank.
Promoted. Unit promoted.
So obviously we discussed the IFV's capabilities before. It enhances the infantry unit that's put in it. And by default, the Soviets can't build an IFV. But they can take one over. Or they could capture the war factory and make one themselves. And then we can start to boost Soviet infantry. And this is my personal favorite. It's basically the same as the Scissor Trooper, but look at that range. Also look at that rate of fire. It's strong. The most important thing about it is it's just a rare toy. You don't get to experience it very often.
On hold. Cancelled. Building. Unit ready.
Location confirmed. Ready, comrade. Location confirming. Changing position. Location confirmed.
So whatever this ore is, it seems to be mined by excavators, by JCBs. These are school buses, correct? That's a lot of school buses. How big is this school? I need a sacrificial lamb. This is the Soviet way of doing things.
Unit lost.
Thank you, my friend.
Conscript reporting. Waiting order.
It wasn't in vain. It wasn't particularly necessary either. I could have just gone up here and killed it in a more direct fashion, but
Location confirmed.
it looked vaguely tactical as an approach.
The mind is quicker than the eye.
Ready to roll. On our way, sir. High speed, low drag. Bound forward.
Okay, I'm going to send this unit in with complete abandon for its safety.
Outstanding. Waiting order. Order received.
What? Ow!
Destination commander.
How can you walk through here?
Yes, sir. Bound forward. Driver up.
Well, heads off to this guy. He's smarter than me. I genuinely thought he was a spy when I first saw him walking towards me there.
Low drag. Driver up.
Unit lost.
Surging forward. Checking connection. Slow.
Right, how's the army looking? It's looking pretty sizable. Just for fun, I'm going to take one of my not Yuris with me.
Thoughts received. My command is your wish.
Building.
If you're wondering why I'm labouring the point that this is not Yuri so much, in Skirmish, which is the regular multiplayer mode, you can't build these units, these Psi Corps troopers. Instead, you build Yuri himself,
Unit
who looks
ready.
exactly like this.
My command is your wish.
And it's limited, so you could only have one Yuri in the way that you could only have one Tanya.
Ready, comrade. Ready, comrade.
Thoughts received.
Unit ready.
Attacking. Waiting order.
Now, Yuri cannot take over
Unit
buildings,
ready.
so he actually has no defense against base defenses, other than capturing a unit and getting that unit to attack the base defense.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit promoted.
It is somewhat enjoyable to just take control of the enemy units mid-battle.
Unit ready.
But hey, I'm not going to pretend to understand the intricacies of the human mind. Apparently this is the way it works.
Mind is clear. Thoughts received. My command is your wish.
Unit
You can attack
ready.
me if you want, but honestly the enemies are never going to be successful in their attack.
Unit lost. Ore miner under attack. Unit lost.
Predict
Unit ready. Insufficient funds.
Wait, what's going on down here? Why am I getting alerted? What was attacking me? There's nothing down here other than a limo.
Unit
Are the landed gentry opposing me?
Electrodes ready.
My command is your wish. My command is your wish.
Now, not Yuri does have another ability, which I'm going to step over here to demonstrate. For reasons that people who know this game will understand. You see, Yuri is an emotional chap, and he can do this.
My command is your wish.
He vibrates for a while. There you go.
Yes, of course.
That will kill any infantry, even if they are blended into the wall. They will still die. It is that powerful.
My command is your wish.
Any infantry in that small AoE around Yuri die. So, technically he can be used as anti-infantry. Practically, it's not great, because I'm not going to walk Yuri into a pool of GIs. That will just get him killed. Why is no one making any effort to destroy this thing?
unit lost.
Okay, well, we'll leave that one alone then.
Unit lost. Building.
Conscript reporting. For the Union.
Unit lost.
Order received.
You notice that brute force seems to be my preferred way of dealing with these missions. Nothing else is really required at this point. I'll make balanced armies and control artillery units and defend them and all of this fancy, quote-unquote, tactical,
Unit ready.
strategic form of combat later. For now, I got more men than they got, so I win. And that'll do me. That's a language I understand.
Training. Unit ready.
Ready, combat. Encountering enemy. Waiting orders.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Order received.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Location confirmed. Moving.
Unit ready.
Location confirmed.
Good day. You often take this path. Doesn't seem very direct wherever you're going, but
Ready, combat.
you know, you do you. Keep up the good work.
Unit ready.
Moving. Changing
Unit
position.
ready. Unit lost.
Right, so this is the military base that protects the World Trade Center. Let's see how
Unit
well
promoted.
equipped this thing is.
Moving.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Something was firing at me and I couldn't see what it was.
Insufficient
It
funds.
may have been a man in the building.
Unit promoted.
Now, in a situation like this, we're going to have to make use of a new hotkey. One which is a mainstay in RTS games of the modern era.
Unit ready.
So normally, you would press
On hold.
A, which is to issue an attack command, and you would left-click on the floor, and this would do something called attack move, which would make your units move to that location and attack anything they encounter on the way. Command & Conquer decided that attack move is a very good tool. It's good for RTS games as a whole, and they're correct, it is. It's a very good move, because if there are 10 GIs, I don't want to have to click on 10 different enemies to focus my attacks. I'd rather just attack move into the bunch of them, and people just attack whatever's close to them. So attack move is a good idea. It therefore needs to be put on a convenient hotkey. So,
Unit
step forwards, Command & Conquer. What is the most convenient hotkey you can imagine for attack move? That's correct. It's Control and Shift and left click. Fantastic.
Going to source. 2000 wolves.
But I'm going to start using that from now on because it is a very important hotkey.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Obviously I can left click on an enemy individually to focus their attention on
Unit
it,
promoted.
which
Unit
has its own
lost.
merits. But for example, if I'm coming up against a mismatch of a couple of units, rather than focusing my attacks, I can do an attack move command like this, and everyone will waste their shots on the harvester. bad example, but situationally it's the right move, okay? The only other way of doing this really is to just walk the enemies in and then press stop and let them find their own targets. But I will endeavor to use attack move, because it is good. Genuinely is. You're gonna take all day to get over there, mate. Give me a transport. I see no reason to destroy this base. It's a perfectly nice base. I could repurpose it for my own ends. I was talking briefly about the rockets. In Red Alert 1, you had the V2 rocket launcher. This is the Third World War, so they've improved it into the V3 rocket launcher. And in Red Alert 3, they have developed the V4 rocket launcher, which is a nice bit of continuity.
Changing position. Moving. Ready, comrade. Ready, comrade. Moving.
I seriously can't believe that someone decided this was the optimal hotkey.
Changing position.
We still have traditional hotkeys of control left click for force fire and alt left click for force move, which you use to crush people. But this new one is something else, let me tell you. Anyway, give me my lab.
Building captured. Structure sold. The beacon.
Perhaps I could be of assistance.
So, let me get this straight. It wasn't the technology that I needed from the tech lab.
Psychic ready.
It was the literal materials of the building. As I deconstructed it and then rebuilt the beacon in its place, I'm kinda lost. And it looks like I'm defending this for 5 minutes. I don't even know if my army's gonna get here in time, but presumably.
Our base is under attack.
I couldn't be in a worse position for this, by the way, because I just left the enemy's base intact so they can build units at the site I'm trying to defend. But maybe I should put a stop to this. Also, I don't have any anti-air units in my army except for this one transport. So I'm glad they gave me a load. Can't mind control flying units because brainwaves and the electric signals don't go up. Don't ask me. Oh dear, is he dead? But that's the way science works.
Our base is under attack.
Fortunately, this one transport I built is gonna single-handedly save me. I'm gonna lose, aren't I? Why are you guys not shooting? They actually weren't. They were just minding their own business. I thought they were shooting and they just weren't very good at it. Good heavens, people are helpless without my command.
Warning, enemy air armada detected.
Not an armada.
Enemy armor battalion detected.
Not an armor battalion.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
I could build more units to try and help me out here, but honestly, the faff of me trying to get them into the right place is going to cause me more harm than good.
Unit
Right, I don't care about my base.
building.
Maybe I will build units then.
Unit lost.
You weren't joking about the armored battalion. But in 1 minute, the armored battalion's going to be defeated, so we'll be alright.
Our base is under attack. Unit promoted. Unit
I'm glad my
lost.
flak cannoneers have finally learnt to use their weaponry. You would have thought all those years training in the academy would have prepared them for this, but apparently not. Here, you want to take a tank?
Our
There
base
you
is
go.
under attack.
It's always
Unit
satisfying.
lost. Unit ready. Beacon deployed and online. Our base is under attack.
Everyone is now mine.
Voices in my head. Victory to the Soviet Union!
Mission accomplished.
Finally, America sees the truth. We should cheer for victory to the Soviet Union. And in the next episode, I'm going to change back to the Allies. Death to the Soviet Union. Hopefully you'll join me for that. And I shall see you then.